Hello and welcome back to the Cove with more BattleTech. Well, we have a couple of good missions here, so we're going to go ahead and take the very first one that I think has the best return on investment. We have a bug hunt, that's right, an assassination mission in a polar region, 4 skulls with a heap of salvage on board, 7 priority picks and 31 overall. Could potentially earn 1,000,000 C-bills, but I think this is the way to do it. So we're going to go ahead and jump on in. This is also the only mission we have against the local pirate organization, but given the amount of salvage and what's on offer, I think this would be very foolish to ignore. So accept it we shall. So that is what we're doing today. So what do we need? We have 4 skulls out of 5, so this is going to be a little bit of a fight. Let's go ahead and drop off some of our lighter mechs, and then I guess we'll figure out the rest as we go. So we do have a bit of salvage on offer, so we should probably bring along something for that. And then what else do we need? 4 skulls. I'm thinking that today... I'm thinking we might bring out our Annihilator. Yeah, let's bring out our Annihilator, and I'm also tempted to bring out our Cyclops as well. Boosting up our initiative could be particularly good depending on what they have got. So we're going to go ahead and try that out. And then, what else do we desire? I'm considering maybe bringing out a Zeus. Yeah, I think the Zeus is what we'll go with. We need some indirect fire of some decent proportions, so we'll go ahead and we'll take that. So that should put us in a pretty good position to take plenty of salvage. Let's see, the Annihilator, that thing is going to be as cool as a cucumber. I'm not expecting too much from that at all. We do have the coolant vent as well. Actually, you know what? Maybe no. You know what? Let's go ahead and throw that on the Cyclops. That thing is our most toasty of all the mechs, so we'll make the most there. And then let us see, what else have we got? We could go for the initiative on the missiles. It's not a bad plan. We could also potentially... Oh, hang on a second. We could maybe switch around over here, make that Annihilator go nice and early and obliterate some enemies. The Zeus, yeah, you know what? I think that's actually the way that we're going to run these things. That should work out splendidly well. We've got the breaching shot as well as the multi-targeting for indirect fire. The Cyclops, not a huge issue there, but we can keep on shooting, and we've got some solid defense. And that Annihilator is going to be absolutely making some breakneck pace and annihilating whatever we need. And then, of course, our Marauder with Headhunter to go ahead and collect the salvage that we desire. Sounds fantastic. Alright, so let's go over the specifics and dive on in. Okay, so our objective is straightforward. As it is an assassination mission, we must go in and destroy the target and escape. Commander, we need an immediate deployment. We've been in pursuit of a pirate terrorist for months, and we've finally tracked them to this planet. They've gone to ground, but earlier today one of our orbital units spotted them moving on the surface. This is the first verified sighting we've had of the target, and we want you to bring them down immediately, before they're able to slip away again. There hasn't been time to do a full survey of the AO, so you'll be going in blind. Alright, it's hard for me to overstate what a terrible idea it is to go into a mission with no terrain intel. There could be anything down there. Well, that's true.
Initiated.
But at least we know it's ground. Alright, this is the place, Commander. Can you see the target anywhere? We're blind on the ground. I've got an engine signature here, the best I can do, and I don't know, is that maybe... trying to get some eyes on... Is that meant to be a catapult or an awesome? Oh, maybe. I'm not really sure. The target might make a break for it once we engage, Commander. Be ready to intercept if they run.
Time to get paid.
Okay, so payment on our mind. We do have some supporting forces. Let's keep a solid distance between those two. We're going to go ahead and run down the path the road has provided. And we will see what we can find. Now I'm expecting some heavier mechs, so I'm not too concerned about getting outflanked by some lights. And we've all got a very similar movement profile, so I'm not too concerned.
Yes, I'm there.
With getting too far ahead of ourselves. Alright, we have a 60-ton mech and a 65-ton mech. Okay, my bet is at least one of them will probably be,
I'm walking here.
Well, I guess the 65 could be a catapult? A rifleman wouldn't go astray over here either, but you know what? We'll soon learn what is what. Alright, so let's see what's around.
I got a sensor trace here.
Ooh, okay, hello. That's a 50-ton mech moving nice and early. They clearly have some advanced pilots, but they don't have eyes on us, so let's go ahead and reserve. As long as they don't have any direct line of sight, there's no dangers of indirect fire coming our way. So if we can minimize those numbers, I would prefer to do so. Alright, and we have a 70-ton mech. Okay, so we know what we want Rannick to try and
What do you need?
take care of. We're not going to get... I guess we could take position here. It's not the worst. We could quickly move up and obliterate. Again, 65... 70... I guess the 50-ton mech we can destroy with impunity. Yeah, look, you know what? We're probably going to get a chance to take some shots on the next round, so let's just move up and take care of the dragon. Alright, so 95% across the board for a precision shot. Let's aim for the head and see what we can salvage.
Got it.
Alright, well, that was a bit of a boom.
Destroyed.
And I'm happy to see it. That's one problem less. And of course, yeah, I think that was our main quarry taking its turn just then.
Goods to go.
Alright, as for everybody else, the Cyclops can get eyes on multiple targets.
Yes, Commander.
Our Zeus can't do much,
boss.
so I guess we're going to
I await
scout
your command.
with the Cyclops and see what we're dealing with.
Acknowledged.
Alright, so they have a Hunchback 4G. Ooh, okay, so that AC-20 is dangerous. And a Grasshopper. Huh. Okay, well, yeah, that's not too bad in the way of salvage. Some decent weaponry for being in such a cool biome, so we should be concerned about that. Let's go ahead and start splitting damage. Yeah, we've got 4 LRM-5s. We're going to... Oh, I don't know. It's about much of a muchness. Let's start... You know, let's focus predominantly on the Hunchback. We'll blow that up if we can, and we'll try and salvage the Grasshopper. I think that's what we'll do. So again, we're not really doing this for the damage. We're just trying to make our probability of future damage more likely. So we'll do that.
Waiting for orders.
Our Annihilator, that's not going to work for us. We could go ahead and sprint. Standing on geothermal is probably not the best idea. We'd have some solid position against that Hunchback as well as the Grasshopper if needed on the next round. So you know, let's go ahead and do that.
Full speed.
We'll let our assaults tank the damage if we can, as opposed to our Marauder.
Receiving you.
And our Zeus. What about you? We've only got indirect fire there. I'd love to get those pulses online, but I doubt that that will be the case. Let's move... You know what? Let's just stand back and stay within within cover, and we'll see what we can do. 90% isn't too bad. Yeah, there we go. We'll go ahead and move on up. Alright, so let's go for that Hunchback.
Firing on target. No retreat.
Alright, so, you know, theoretically we might have found a, we may have found a sensor lock to be good to help us out with some accuracy debuffs, but I guess it'll be fine. And look how cool that thing is. Fired the AC-20 and it's still up and running. Alright, well...
Commander.
How did our Annihilator go? It looks like that was what got hit. That's a solid chunk of damage taken on out of Oh, wait. Out of the Cyclops? Oh, hang on a second. I thought, yeah, no, okay, never mind. That's not the Annihilator. Yeah, it looks like we got clipped in the arm. Okay, well, so far so good then, I guess.
Good to go.
At least it's kind of what we had in plan. Let's go ahead and move on up and... 45% on that grasshopper is not phenomenal. And we've got no one else to have a turn. You know what? Let's go ahead and reserve for a second. We'll see what this guy does. Oh, a thunderbolt. Okay. Yeah, no indirect fire on the previous turn, so we know it's not a catapult, nor, what is it, a Jaeger mech. Alright, but either way, that's fine. We'll make do with what we've got. So, our Annihilator, technically speaking, we do have some very solid shots there. 90s and 95s. We could also go ahead and move on up, but again, that takes us back to 45%, and I'm trying to figure out why that's just so bad. Oh, you know what? It's probably recoil penalties. That would be my guess. Yeah, alright. Well, you know what? If that is the case, you know what? We'll move up. We'll take the shot. We'll see if we can salvage some stuff, but if not, oh well.
Got it.
We can always take a second shot. So let's go ahead and go for that precision strike. That does buff things up to 60%. Let's see, what is our issue? Refire of +6. Yeah, that is a lot of recoil. Ah well, let's go ahead and see what we can do.
Locking in all weapon systems.
Ooh, and it looks like we were very, very well off right there.
Hope we can salvage that.
An UAC-20 sending one of its shells to the dome.
Let's do this.
Couldn't have done much better. Alright, so, well, since we've got so much ability, let's go ahead and shuffle up our Annihilator. And I think we, I don't know, say goodbye to a Hunchback, hey? Yeah, we don't need, it's already taken a fair bit of damage. We don't need to try and salvage this. But we can save the resolve for maybe destroying the Thunderbolt.
Affirmative. Let's get this done.
Okay, lethal damage.
Down.
Enemy down indeed.
Yes, Commander.
Alright, so the Cyclops probably not going to be doing too much here. You know what, we'll move on up just because it's good. It's, well, probably worth moving towards our main issue. But we will go ahead and just open fire. We'll try and strip off a whole bunch of its evasion. Who knows? If we're lucky, we might even clip the leg out from underneath it.
Giving them everything I've got.
Alright, well, it does not appear that that was the case. We did spread out just a little bit more than I would have preferred. We could have maybe taken off that arm, or at least all of its armor. That would have been nice, but oh well. It is what it is. Alright, so, medium lasers, pulses, and all that jazz we can fire from over here. Let's see, can we fire from any further back? We actually can. Alright, 75s and 85s. Those are some pretty solid odds, and we do have those two pulses, so... Is 75 as good as they will be? We can get them up to 95. The LRMs will lose a little bit of, percentage, but you know what? I think that's good enough. Let's go ahead and shuffle over here. We'll stay outside of the thermals and, you know what? Let's go for a precision strike and slow this thing down. Let's go for the headshot and see if we can roll a lucky head hit. Yeah, it shouldn't take too much. Alright, so it looks like a pulse laser certainly did connect.
MechWarriors, show them what you've got.
Yeah, he's holding on by a thread, and look at that. That is some severe damage.
Receiving you.
Let's finish up with the Marauder, hey? Oh, actually, you know what? We might drop out of combat. You know what? It doesn't matter. Let's just go ahead and we'll take the precision strike. We'll see if we can get the kill. For some reason, that's back up to 95%. I guess... Or maybe it was evasion that was also adding in. Maybe some obfuscation that I didn't quite look at. But you know what? The numbers are looking good, so I see no reason not to take it.
This should be good.
Alright, well,
Target neutralized.
we can't salvage everything. Yeah. I thought we might have been okay when I saw that the leg was taken out, but given the rest, yeah, not so sure that was going to end up being the case. Alright, let's bring the Annihilator back
Heading
on
out.
Let's get the...
Orders?
Actually, no, let's bring the Zeus up and around over here.
Copy that.
Cyclops can move up a little bit
Moving
further.
to position.
And our Marauder... Oh, wait a second. An 80-ton mech, yeah. We're going to bring you up as far as we can. In fact... What do we reckon? Do we think that maybe moving up through here could be the best chance for the Marauder? Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
It is go time.
Alright, so obviously he, being on the other side of the ridge, is not going to be able to shoot at us. We're going to let him sprint to us, and then we'll see about maybe taking out a leg or
How's it going?
softening him up in some other form. So technically speaking, if we move as far as we can, I think he's just outside of sensor lock range, so we're going to go ahead and sprint. We'll head to the... can we outflank him over here? We could, or maybe we could try and get to the ridge line. You know what? We're going to spread out. We'll see if we can find him that way.
Orders?
The Cyclops, we're not going to... break our position either. Let's move you here.
Heading out.
It is an 80-ton mech. Maybe it's a, oh, you know what? It could be an awesome.
Standing by.
That would make a bit of sense, I think.
Waiting for orders.
Yeah, I could see that being an awesome. It roughly fit the profile that we saw through the trees, but we didn't have
Ready for orders.
a great spot. So I think, yeah, I'm guessing it's probably one of them.
On the move.
But
Full
if not,
speed.
I'm sure we will find out in the very, very near future.
Standing by.
Alright, so it looks like we can move on up and start barraging, and I suppose that would be wise. Let's see what we're dealing with.
Roger.
Alright, so it's got a very defensible position. Oh, it's a Victor. Oh, okay. Yep, that could be another option too. That AC-20, SRM-4, and 2 medium lasers. Not shabby in the way of firepower, but let's see if we can remove the cockpit. Again, highly difficult to do since it does have 60% damage reduction. We're looking at doing what, instead of 120, it'll be closer to what? 45? 50-ish kind of damage? Yeah.
Roger. Our primary target is taking damage.
Oh, but it looks like a beautiful salvo has sorted that out very swiftly. Good shooting there, Headhunter. Alright, all targets eliminated. Sit tight and can collect from where you are.
Mission successful.
Well, I don't think that mech was going to get very far whatsoever. If it had have survived that first opening volley, we're definitely going to be able to catch it with our other mechs. Alright, so an extra 10% for destroying the enemy supporting forces brings us up to almost 100,000 C-bills. It looks... oh wow, the Marauder got 4 out of 5 kills. And the Annihilator also lived up to its name. Alright, well, very nice, that is excellent. Let's go ahead and let's collect the heaviest salvage first. We should also double check that there's no modified weapons that we truly desire. Plus 3 hit defense, you know what? That's a very, very solid gyro. We'll steal that for sure. Oh, you know what? That would have been in the Grasshopper. That would have certainly made our percentages much, much harder. Alright, well that's fine. We'll go ahead and collect the Grasshopper too. And then we'll see whatever we roll. And it looks like we got 2/3 of a dragon. And some miscellaneous weaponry, and some modified ones at that. So that's not too bad. A whole bunch of heat sinks, that's never a bad thing. And some AC-5 and 20 ammo. I guess things like that aren't exactly a bad thing to have. Not that they're exactly expensive, but again, it's always cheaper to salvage than to purchase. So I am not too upset by that in the slightest. Alright, so Yang, we'll go ahead and let him have a quick check over our mechs, and we'll see that nothing goes funky with them. And then I suppose we may as well go ahead and jump on into one more mission.
That mech you asked
Because
for
that worked out
is
rather
cleared
well.
for fighting. That mech you wanted is back. That mech
Alright,
is ready to fight.
so there we go. We'll go ahead and we'll put those into storage. Do we want the grasshopper? It could be nice for maybe hunting down, what do we call it, convoy missions and all. We know it's got some decent maneuver. Look, it's not the be-all and end-all. You know, we'll just put it into storage, and if we want it in the future, we can always sweep the cobwebs off it. Alright, so back to contracts. Let's see, what else can we accomplish while we're here? You know what? We have a recovery mission. Got some decent salvage again. Four skulls. The money is absolutely abysmal, though. I'm thinking that might be what we go with. Yeah, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't be too bad. Recovery missions are normally pretty good, so what have we got here? One of our dropships was in the Argo system when it experienced technical issues. A final message indicated a hard landing. That dropship was carrying a valuable piece of technology as cargo, and while we are willing to write off the ship itself, we very much need to recover the cargo. Satellite imagery suggests that Taurian forces have recovered the cargo and are holding it at a nearby facility. We need you to raid that facility and recover the item. Huh. Okay. Alright, well, they just happen to be transporting valuable cargo through rivals' territory, and their dropship happened to go down. Okay, well, you know what? We can sort that out. 4 skulls. I'm thinking salvage is going to be better than the money that is on offer here. The money is absolutely abysmal. We don't mind the Taurians hating us more. The Federated Suns, they're going to be thrilled. Let's go ahead and accept. I think for this one, though, we're going to drop the Cyclops. I don't think that's going to be as necessary here. They might potentially have some turrets, so maybe... I don't know, have we got anything else with some indirect fire? We could bring an archer. An archer, an annihilator, a Zeus, and a marauder. I suppose that should be doable. Yeah, alright. You know what? We'll go ahead and we'll shuffle all of these along. And we'll bring out the archer. Heat efficiency is relatively low on the archer. Yeah, so I suppose that will be what we'll keep Archangel with. The Zeus will still keep with Big Man, Rannoch in his Marauder, and Cosmo can sit pretty, moving nice and swiftly in that Annihilator. Yeah, I think that should be more than enough to deal with whatever they throw at us.
MechWarriors, prepare for combat.
Alright, so we've already gone over most of the things when we looked at the contract. So yeah, just making sure we just need to go in and retrieve the dropship's cargo and escape. Nothing else to it. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump on in. There's no point in wasting time. Alright, let's see what the desert has for us. Commander, the Taurian facility is just up ahead. Secure the area around the facility, get the cargo aboard, get the cargo loaded aboard a mech. Once you've got it, Simai will pick you up at this LZ. Remember, Commander, that if the mech carrying the cargo goes down, so does our payday. Olvaria out.
This looks like a nice place to settle down. Raise some kids.
Okay, well, interesting that's the first thing he thinks of when seeing a desertous mountain, but okay. We'll leave him be. I think we go ahead and maybe try and pop up over this ridge, and then, I don't know. It's an interesting position for us. Let's go ahead and we'll sprint over there.
Confirmed.
And, oh, for a second then I thought we were about to have contact. The Zeus doesn't really matter much there. The Marauder will move on, and the Archer too.
Moving to position.
Alright, so let's see what we can find. Let's get our Annihilator as far across as possible. We'll bring our Zeus into cover. Our Marauder... Oh, yeah, we could actually cut through the valley, and I think we will. Yeah, just trying to spread out that sensor range a fraction, and then, you know what, the Archer also doesn't need anything too fancy. let's just take the altitude and see if we can position ourselves well for that in the future. Alright, let's get our Zeus. Can we make our way down that? That does look a little bit steep. Let's head down the hill. Oh, and we have contact. Okay, so what are we seeing? A 65-ton mech. That's A-OK.
Aye, aye.
Let's get the Marauder. Yeah, I guess we're going to zip down here.
Heading out.
I'm sure there's going to be more friends. Whether they're just further up here or scattered out, I do not know. Was there an... Okay, there is a building over here, but I'm not seeing much. So I think we'll be okay. Let's bring... Oh, you know what? The Zeus can move there.
Position confirmed.
And the Archer can follow.
I'm walking here.
Again, indirect fire doesn't really need that much of positioning advantage to shoot. It's just kind of handy for that accuracy buff. Alright, well, are there any other friends
I copy.
to come out of the woodwork? The answer is yes. Although it's a 40-ton mech, which is a little bit lighter than I was expecting. Alright, and there's a 65-ton mech. Okay, well...
How's it going?
What's
up, boss?
Well, we can get eyes on the 65-tonner. We can get Rannick into position to shoot, and so I suppose we may as well make the most of that, hey?
Confirmed.
Oh, and we have another 65-ton mech in the back. Okay. Let's see. Jaeger mech. AC 5s and 2s and some medium lasers. Fair enough loadout, but we're going to see if we can remove the loadout of its pilot.
Giving him everything I've got. Scored a critical hit.
Okay, so not really sure what happened there. Obviously we missed. We've almost killed the mech. Yeah, took out the side torso. We did get a headshot, just not enough damage for the kill.
Standing by.
Alright, I'm thinking that maybe go ahead and sprint you over here. And we'll see if we can get some shots on the next round. As for the others, let's go...
I'm your spaniel.
I know, we'll move the Archer on up. We'll go ahead and take shots at the Jaeger mech. I'm not really concerned about salvaging it. Obviously it would be nice, but at the end of the day, you know, it's one less mech to deal with, and we could still get whatever's further back there. So, yeah, I guess off you fire.
Confirmed. Do the math, Chief. One less target.
Alright, so that one's done.
Yes, Commander.
That just leaves the Zeus, which does have some sensor locking, but we might need that on the next turn. Do we move you to the precipice? It's... I don't... Oh, that's... I didn't really think that was going to be such a dead end. That's kind of my fault. You know what? Let's shuffle out over here. We'll see if we can find... Oh,
yeah.
hang on a second.
It's on.
Multiple 65-ton mechs. Okay, and only a singular assassin. Alright. Well, you know what? If we don't get any good kills on the other 65-tonners, we can always just scrap the assassin.
Orders.
The Marauder, I think we're going to hold off for a second, see if we can draw them in close. Okay, another Jaeger mech. Well, I'm glad we put you in cover, but you can fire back with some slightly larger cannons. And then... Oh, you know what? We may as well see what this last one has for us. I'm going to go with another Jaeger mech.
Reporting. Heavy damage.
Alright, let's just check in on Cosmo. How's he doing? The Annihilator is actually sitting fairly pretty. Yes, it has taken a fair chunk of damage on this turn, but nothing too much to scare us.
To go.
Alright, so, let's see. Let's bring Rannick out first. Let's move him... Yeah, we'll move him into cover. We'll see if we can get the one at the back.
Location confirmed.
So what do we see back there? Yeah, a Jaeger mech with AC2s and LRMs. Yeah, alright. And again, with absolutely abysmal accuracy for that AC-20... sorry, for the UAC-20. Up to 45%. Again, not amazing What's going on there? Let's have a look. So we have the long range. I guess that's an issue being it so far. Actually, that's going to be a lot of our percentage chance. Yeah, we have our target moved. It's got a good chunk of evasion. Enemy effects makes me think it's got a gyro, and then the refire we should be more or less good enough to ignore. Alright, what about you? Are you any better? Not really. It's much of a muchness. Still got the same accuracy buffs, except this thing's got more accuracy. Sorry, more TMM, more target movement modifier, and let's see, target size? Yeah, alright, well either way, let's go for the one at the back and we'll see what remains. Oh, and our heat is incredibly close to capacity. Alright, you know what, it's fine.
Here it comes.
Alright, you know what, maybe we should have dropped off that UAC-20 just so we could fire more rounds after it. But oh well,
Commander.
it is what it is. Alright, let's move you up over here. 95% across the board, 70s and 75s are not shabby.
Orders?
I don't know, I'm thinking maybe what we do here is we move the Zeus. We put maybe the medium pulses on the assassin, we send an LRM here and an LRM there. Yeah, look, realistically, we probably should have tried to burn through some of the evasion before we opened fire. But, oh well, such are our decisions. Let's see, the one at the back. What is that? That's his left leg. Okay, highly unlikely we're going to hit that. Let's just put the... No, we'll just put an LRM-15 back there. That'll be fine. And, actually, you know what? Maybe we just go ahead and try and... Oh no, the assassin's just a little bit too speedy. Yeah, we'll go with what we've got.
Affirmative.
Alright, structure is exposed. The assassin lives for another day. Oh, and the Jaeger mech got hit with a chunk of damage.
Yes, Commander.
Alright, so, let's see, what does remain? We can probably take out that assassin fairly comfortably, and I'm thinking that that's what we do. Yeah, the assassin's not in a phenomenal shape here. Between all of the LRMs, we should be okay. Do we send off any other extra shots just to... You know what I think? We maybe send out the LRM-5? Yeah, we'll send the LRM-5 off to the Jaeger mech just to make sure that it's got no evasiveness left. I think that's the way that we do this. So, yeah, we'll more or less destroy that thing and wound the other. Alright, well, we got an injury for the pilot, but unfortunately on the wrong mech. Yeah, this guy's still kicking, but barely. Alright, fine. Let's go. Let's just open fire. Let's see if we can finish what we started. This thing's pretty well toast. Actually, you know what? Maybe we go for this Jaeger mech. It's less damaged, and so maybe it's more likely to survive the salvo if we don't get that headshot.
Taking the shot.
Oh, my game is lagging something chronic.
Reporting. Critical hit.
And somehow that thing is still upstanding. I do not know how that happened. Alright, well, that dodgy little assassin is going to do whatever it so pleases. Looks like it can... Oh, it's got the ace pilot ability. Very fancy. Alright, well, let's go ahead and put an end to the shenanigans. Let's move up. And I think we'll go ahead and turn off a few of our weapons. There we go. Let's go for a precision strike here. Still slightly too much heat, so we'll turn off another weapon. Off we go. It's already weakened, so we only need... What's this? Oh, wait a second. Not our most damaging one. Our weakest one, please and thank you. Yeah. That should do fine.
Acknowledged.
There we go. We got the headshot.
I hope we can salvage that.
Actually, what we should do is make sure that because we've got regular medium lasers on here, we try and find some more damaging varieties and make sure that we continue on making that thing as
Standing
lethal
by.
as possible. As for Cosmo, do you want to go ahead and finish what you started? Or do you just want to bully the tiny little thing? You know what? Let's just make that thing go pop. Okay.
Hostile removed.
Some things are just a little bit of fun. Alright, well, you know what? We've only got a Jägermech left. Let's go ahead and, well, I suppose we can get the knockdowns, so we don't really need to send too much. Maybe we could use our pulses, actually. Yeah, you know what? We'll go ahead and just send an LRM-5 and see if we can tip this thing down.
Locking on.
And that's all that it needed. The slight push of a feather. Alright, so that's another injury. He's probably going to get right back up again, but he's certainly not doing damage to us. Actually, has it even got any weapons? Okay, it's got a medium laser to use. Well, best of luck to you, buddy, but it's not going to get you very far.
Receiving you.
Alright, big man, let's take your precision strike. We'll aim for the head. Yeah, just because we're going to get some salvage out of all of this. We'll turn off the LRMs just so we're less likely to completely obliterate. But even then, it's still highly probable.
Got it.
Oh, was that a headshot? Yes, it was.
Let's get this done.
Who would have thought with all that damage reduction, it still would be up and kicking.
Waiting for orders.
Alright, well, Vanek, would you mind moving up and finishing this thing?
Coordinates received.
Unfortunately, moving is going to give us a little bit of heat, but that's not enough. Oh, and we can even reintroduce our medium laser. How delightful. Alright, off you go. Well, leg destroyed. Pilot injury from getting shot. That should be a KO. Fantastic. Alright, well that's that all done and dusted. Let's get our Annihilator back down. We can zip our Zeus across.
Confirmed.
Let's move our Archer as well, just on the off chance reinforcements pop by.
Position confirmed.
And make sure that we're nice and cool. Alright, that's the place, Commander. As soon as the cargo is aboard, head for the evac LZ. And that's it. All targets eliminated. Sit tight and can collect you from where you're at. Alright, well, that is particularly good. I was kind of crossing my fingers that there were going to be reinforcements, just so we could potentially salvage something greater. But you know what? Almost 2 full 65-ton mechs isn't that bad, especially when you weren't even being paid a $500,000. Alright, so everybody got the XP, nobody got any injuries, and everybody is home safe. Let's go ahead and... what do we want? Well, I guess we go with the Jägermech 6S. That should work out fine. Let's just double check anything else. Accuracy... nope. Alright. Let's just continue with the salvage. Alright, and what do we collect? Oh, we got all of the mech parts. That is phenomenal. And then, yeah, some bits of a couple of weapons. Alright, well, you know what? That's probably been a very, very solid and profitable position to have taken. Very glad we went for salvage. Alright, so that isn't too bad at all. I guess Yang's still gotta go ahead and have a bit of a look, but it is what it is. Though, if you've made it this far into the video, I'd just like to let you know that we are still accepting MechWarrior submissions. We've been very lucky in this series to have quite a few pilots given to us from viewers like yourself. And their contribution has been absolutely lovely to see, and the door is still open. If you'd like to have MechWarrior join Leviathan's Might here on the Argo, we're still accepting. All that we need is a first name, last name, and a call sign, and we can join you on in for the shenanigans, which... yeah, if you've made it this far, you might feel like you wouldn't mind buying on in with a character of your own, which we would love to see. But if not, that's still a-okay. But you know, I thought I'd give you the option nonetheless. But either way, that's where we're going to call things for today. We're going to go ahead and pick up some more missions in the next one, hopefully make a solid chunk of change, and continue on to the next black market. So if you do want to see that, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is the best way to catch all future content, and I'll see you next time. So until then, thank you for tuning into the Leviathan Cove. This is the Leviathan, signing out.